the reason we were all doing this, the reason why we started Blazin Griffin is because we want to tell stories. Like, we love playing video games, we love watching TV, we love films. We also all love what they do, what effect that they can have. Like, the reason I'm here is because of the films I watched, the books I read, the video games I played when I was a kid, the effect that had on me, the way it made me think about the world, and that's what we want to do.
We're being able to attract talent because of the CV in which we have, and we're definitely in a growth phase and scaling the business at the same time. We are going from what was essentially 2 employees at Blazin Griffin post-production to 16, and I think overall in the company we're now going to be around about 45, and we're probably going to be around about 60 by the end of the year, which is primarily made up by our games team, who are going from 1 full game studio to 3 over the next 12 to 24 months. The growth in the service aspect of the business is helping to complement the other arms of the business, and spread that risk a little bit. We started discussions in 2014 about how this might look as a company, and then February 2015 we merged.
I think at the time Scottish Enterprise called it the most complicated deal that they'd ever done, because what we did was we merged the 3 companies in post-production, video games and film, and also did a seed investment round with the Scottish Investment Bank that was matched with private investment. So we had a lot of deals all wrapped up into the one thing, all while we were also making games, also running a post-production company, and also developing our film slate. Blazin Griffin, when it was just a video games company, became account managed. So they initially started working with Business Gateway, and then became very quickly recognized as a high growth company, because the model that they pursued, which has worked really well, was acquiring intellectual property that was a little bit distressed, needed a little bit of love in order to generate more revenue, and then using that income as a launch pad to grow the company very quickly. But this was also part of us on the film and the post-production side of Blazin Griffin, knowing that we weren't likely to qualify for account management and the kind of support that you can get from Scottish Enterprise in our particular industries at the time, one being service-based, which without investment is very slow to grow organically, and film, which is kind of boom and bust, and you don't have a lot of employment, regular employment, at least at the early stages of the company, which makes it hard to qualify as a high-growth company. So this was us piggybacking a little bit and saying, well, actually, we can create greater value as these 3 merged companies as a whole. So to do our investment rounds, we can show through the figures that we're much greater value than if we were just a video games company or anything like that. And as a result, get much greater investment for a much smaller piece of the pie than we otherwise would have gotten. Account management, it really means support in like every way that that's possible. So that can just mean general advice, getting knowledge of what other people are doing in our industry, asking for research into the market, getting that kind of soft support. And what we always did was let Scottish Enterprise know what we're planning. So we would say, we've got all these awesome plans, we want to expand the business in this direction, that direction, we want to hire all these people. And then they would go, we've got this type of support in this particular area. So on the one hand, that may be support for employing people. So for example, paying a percentage of people's wages for a year. If it's a role that is a bit risky for us to put, we can't financially justify on our own, it's a bit of a risk, but it's a role we really feel like we're going to need and is going to help us grow, we can say to Scottish Enterprise, will you part fund some of this? And for the most part, if we can justify it, they'll say yes. And then on the other hand, if we're saying, you know what, we're export orientated, we really want to take this product and sell it globally, worldwide, then they could support us to go to a games conference where we'll be able to meet Microsoft and Sony and these kind of companies. So there's a lot of different support along the way, and what that culminated in was the seed investment, or our seed investment round, which was a private investor matching with the Scottish Investment Bank as a market equity investment in the company. So it had to be justified as an investment would have to be in Silicon Valley or anywhere else in the world where you would have to just do a normal investment round to get your company off the ground. It's not a grant, it's not a subsidy. And we've been really fortunate that as we've grown the company and we've stuck to our plan that we said at the outset in 2014, that then a follow-on Series A round was completed at the end of 2016, where Scottish Investment Bank actually upped their investment on a much higher valuation, again matching with another private investor. We're really lucky in Scotland that we have the ability to access business support. We've got the ability to access project support from Creative Scotland, and we're supported in development and production by Creative Scotland too, on the film side. So it's brilliant we have all of that support there. But then when you marry that up with the fact that film business is not traditionally a business, it's often just a cottage industry.
Yeah.
It can become hard to make those two things reconcile. So there is a challenge there, but it's not insurmountable at all. I think we're actually really lucky in the UK as a whole, but more specifically in Scotland, that all of that support's there. And it's kind of up to us to know how we just make our industry better.